The Owls ready?
It's gearing up for flight. Yep, we're live.
Hey, quit hooting at us. Okay, I would like to call the York County Commissioners Board to order. Before we stand up and say the pledge, as some of us were involved helping the family say goodbye to Commissioner Woody Ziegler this last week. A lot of his friends and family were there, and reminds me of when he first got put on this board. He came up to me and needed to have a special meeting, and he did not like the way we were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, because we was dividing one nation under God, and made me pay attention to it. I'd never really thought about it that way, but he was very convicted about that, and I've tried to change the way I've said it. And today, I think when we say the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd like us to remember Woody, and definitely remember his family and the trying times that they are going through, as long as Gary. Unfortunately, I read the obituary this morning, and I'd seen Nancy passed away, which was a very good part of your family too. So we want to remember everybody that we've lost. Thank you. Especially Woody this morning. So if we'd rise to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call please.
Gross.
Present.
Hare.
Here.
Sykes.
Present.
Present. Open meetings law is posted on the south side of our chambers. It is in the hallway outside of our chambers. It is also on our website. Proof of publication was in the News Times the 21st of December, and also posted on our website. Review and approve the minutes of our December 12th Board of Commissioner meeting.
Move.
To approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? Roll call please.
Sykes.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
And Oliver.
Yes. Adopt today's agenda.
Move to adopt the agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Hare.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
And Oliver.
Yes. Officials forum. I assume that Harvey has probably got the guys working.
Indeed. I
Do you have any
did.
conversations?
I did meet with him this morning. Not a whole lot. Just being in the season that we're in, they're taking care of roads, but not doing any construction. They are working in the yard there, where we've expanded the yard and moving in some of the that, as it's been referred to, the Black Mountain, moving the millings back to the backyard, and so the guys were getting out there to go start moving snow, and we're down a few more people, so Harvey was ready to get out there and help them. So
Good. Any other officials? Gary, do you got anything this morning?
I do not.
Thank you. Public. Anybody from the public, which we have two members here with us today. Apparently we didn't get to Road E yet. He may be coming along soon. No reason for an executive session, nor is there any general assistance spaces, so we will go to vendor and payroll.
I do have an added.
Okay.
It's the one we paid incorrectly. So I'm just going to make sure it was done correct.
Okay, so surveil law offices,
Yes.
and this is under the district court and county court. So under the district court is $1,401, and under the county court is $7,491.50.
We paid extra.
Okay, and that was handled last week, I believe.
Yep.
So we'll need to add this as an additional thing. This is, okay, that's it, interest.
And just we voided the one that was incorrect, so and then this will be the correct payment.
Any other questions? See that corrections is continuing. We have a big one to
We
the
did.
state.
Mm-hmm.
Motion to approve
Thank you, Jack.
with the additional plan.
Second?
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
and Overmark.
Yes. Okay, next up, we do have to discuss an act on transfer for that $49,222.50. And this is our midterm interest payment on our bond. And so this just gives Megan the authority to pay that, which I believe it is due right around the first of the year. And they like to be paid on time. So we'll need a motion to approve that.
Move to approve payment.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Bear,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
and Overmark.
Yes. Okay, there is no funding transfers. I haven't gotten up to the date today, but, obviously collections have been coming in, and the estimation sheets that we got showed that there is money, and undoubtedly there's more than that. So we got down to the wire. It was pretty close,
Mhm.
but it looks like we'll make it at least for the next few months. So the next up is the discuss and act on ratifying signature for the juvenile diversion grant. You remember the last meeting, Tristan thought that it was on the meeting to discuss an act, and we just discussed it. So we took care of the changes that we had asked for, and this is for the grant for, I can't remember if it's an EB or a CB.
The first one is a CD, because then the next one we're gonna do the EP one.
So that one, I went ahead and signed, so this just makes it official by ratifying that signature. So I need a motion to ratify the signature on the juvenile diversion grant.
So move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
and Overmark.
Yes. And next up is the juvenile diversion EB grant. And I had seen Tristan enter the building. Had you seen him at all?
I have not.
I haven't seen, he walked in shortly ahead of me, but, is there, yeah, and we can continue down if we, see if he's got time to come down and visit with us about it, and then we can continue down the list till he shows up.
Oh, there it is.
No, just in time.
Printer was not loving me this morning.
Good morning, Tristan.
Morning, commissioners.
We just got to the EB. We already ratified the signature on the CB.
Okay. So here is the EV.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, Tristan Perry, diversion coordinator. This is our EV application, just kind of same as the CB1. There's not too many differences. Again, this is just them allowing us to kind of ask for any other funding that comes out of the same pool of the CB money. And so anything left over that other counties haven't applied for is kind of out there for grabs, and then they distribute it to people that applied for the EV. So with this,
And we've been receiving this grant for,
I think for the whole time that
was this the second one? Because one was the original, I'd say, and then we started when we had Brennan. We added, is this the one that we added when we added Brennan? Or is this the original?
Yes, so the one that added Brennan was like an additional EB that people had already applied for this. It was later on in the fiscal year, and they allowed people to grab the rest of the money.
So this is essentially that one.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yep. Yes.
And this is due,
The 5th of January.
okay,
So there's just a couple questions on the back. I'm waiting to hear back from the crime commission. Otherwise, it's all kind of filled out. It does look like we're missing a page. I have to see why, but essentially the rest of the funding that I'm asking for is seeing if I can get Brennan's salary benefits wrapped into this one. I had an additional, maybe I think 1,000 that wasn't able to be covered by the CB, so I just put that in there. And I'm also seeing if we can get an additional juvenile diversion officer position. And so, and then some operating expenses. On page 11, it kind of outlines the breakdown of personnel would be just kind of requesting 126, travel 727 to different conferences, trainings, that sort of thing. Operating expenses would be our curriculum for the youth, paying for incentives, stuff like that to keep everyone that's involved in the program motivated, and then the total there at the bottom. So 131.72. And so really from, if we would be granted everything, that would be amazing and able to kind of provide what we would need. And if we aren't granted the full amount, then I plan on using our JS grant to get the rest of what I'd be asking for. So that JS is what Brennan is being paid out of right now, and it's the one that usually is due like end of January, sometimes February, and has the step down process. So
okay. So by applying for the grant, obviously that doesn't tie commissioners into anything as far as new employees or anything like that. We're just, at this time, we're just applying for the grant.
exactly.
Those conversations would be held in the future, you know, how much it's going to continue to grow, and, you know, if it does grow, where do we house them, and different things like that.
Right.
So this is just applying for the grant at this point.
Yeah. And again, you know, doesn't get to us until July 1st. So just preemptively.
Well, when would the grant is due in January 5th, but it will know.
We'll know, hopefully, usually they're good at getting back within a month latest, so sometime end of January, early February, hopefully.
So then at that point in time is when we probably need to start having those conversations.
Exactly. Yep. So give us plenty of time to
Okay.
discuss it.
Any questions of Kristen while this is in front of us here?
If it's out there, we go for it, I guess, and see what happens.
I know that at the final day, NACO, and I won't remember the head of the crime commission. Do you know? Can you remember his name, Gary, or maybe Brian? Not very good at that, but anyhow, he was there. He was the speaker at our meeting, and he had mentioned that there was actually going to be probably some more money coming down through the crime commission for programs. Because Nebraska had shied away from any federal money for the last few years, and the federal had come calling, wanting to know if there was something they could do or change. So there's probably going to be more coming, and maybe some of the step down won't step down right away. It's unclear, but
Right.
what he also told us that day of the meeting was that the staff has switched over quite a bit. I think like he retained one person this year out of a 6-member staff, so it was a mess, and that may explain why some of our payrolls weren't coming in
Yeah.
timely, but that's
right.
all been cleared up, right? I mean,
Yep.
those are, you've
Yeah.
been paying attention, like we talked to.
Right, yep, maybe you've been sending me the revenue,
That is coming in every
Yeah.
month, just like you've been asking for, to
Exactly.
make sure those are reconciled.
yep.
Yeah.
and it's coming in the exact amount we were asking for.
Perfect. Well, we'll take more, but
Yeah.
as long as we're making sure it reconciles, so. Any other questions? Okay, we would need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Thank you, Jack.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Tristan, keep us up to date if you would, please.
Yep.
If that does come in, I think we need to have that conversation earlier than later.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, discussion act on reappointing Elizabeth Papineau to one-year term of dentist to the Four Corners Board. She had actually taken over, we did it here recently, she took over, I believe it was Dr. Weeding
Yes.
that was on the board. And so this comes to this board. It was a unified agreement at our Four Corners Board that she do it, and she accepted it, so we need to approve her.
it's a resolution.
Motion to approve the appointment of Papineau, Dr. Papineau, to the board.
Second.
Perfect. Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Sykes,
Yes.
Gross,
Yes.
Bear,
Yes.
Yes. Okay, next up, see the discuss and act on lease agreement. Everybody should have had that. This is with Waco. That's the only part that's really changed. Well, a little bit of wordage
Yeah.
changed
Yeah,
to our liking.
Mhm.
The county attorney adjusted the agreement, the lease agreement, and then I'm William Lundy, and
Thanks.
I'm the communications frequency coordinator for the York County Mutual Aid and manage the two tower sites. And so I've been the one spearheading this, and who Josh has been working through. And so we found out that the mutual aid is not a taxing authority. And so we're unable to obtain insurance on our own. And so talking to Waco currently insures the Thayer Tower because Waco owns the Thayer Tower, which was part of the agreement when that tower was built using 911 money. And so to keep the insurance under the same carrier, same rates, understanding that it needs to be insured and all the other things, it just seemed to make sense that. And Waco, I've been in contact with the Waco Rural Board. They've seen the lease agreement. They're in agreement that it's acceptable for them. And so everything's in place. And so I'd like to, if it's possible, the board would approve the lease with Waco Rural Fire District for the McCool site. I would be willing to answer any questions you might have. It's very important for the fire departments, especially Henderson, McCool, and South Bradshaw area, to help support paging and operations of the frequencies that we use. And so it is a vital part of our communication system, and we're more than willing to accept the responsibility for all the costs associated with maintenance operations and insuring the site. And we're working with an agreement now with the Waco Rural Fire District. It's always been a gentleman's agreement on there, but we're working on an agreement with the county attorney that clarifies that Waco just leases the site, but all the responsibility, maintenance, and operations falls on the mutual aid. And it also clarifies that any tower space we rent, those funds go to the mutual aid to ensure the operations.
Okay, so I think the main thing the two things that changed in the agreement since we last seen it was obviously the who is leasing it from, and that'd be the Waco. And then the other one was towards the end, maybe paragraph 10, or I can't remember if it was. 10.
They're not numbered, but yeah.
It was
yeah,
10 on the other
yep,
one, juvenile
okay,
living.
right, yep.
So it just states that any improvements that they make that cannot be taken from, then they will be given a value, taken in
Fair market
consideration.
value at the time of transfer, and
Yep.
to be honest with you, this is deck chairs on the Titanic.
Right.
Unless some magic communication system comes up that Eldon Musk decides, we're gonna maintain paging and radio operations on those two towers.
Yep.
Yep.
So,
Yep. And I don't foresee this board wanting to get and release, this
Wanting to take the
agreement.
tower
I just
back.
don't see that, no.
Right.
But it just, things
Yeah,
have to be
I
straightened.
understand completely.
So that was the changes that were put in there, and I know that they're up to what we feel is acceptable. So then this would just be a motion. I think the other piece in there was that if there is any subleasing, then that rolls in front of this board too.
Right, and
Just-
if this is agreed, I want to talk about that for a couple of seconds if I could, if that's possible, and I don't know.
Sure, you can talk about it now if you'd
Okay.
like, because I assume that with
What-
Waco leasing it, it'd have to go in front of Waco also,
Right,
and then
yeah.
in front of us.
Currently, right now, Waco has allowed us to lease space on their tower without any discussion with their board.
Okay,
But, I'm more than comfortable coming before this board to just talk. And that's one of, what's kind of pushing this is Verizon is going to currently they have a tower about 2 miles south of the interstate and about 2 miles west of Highway 81. That tower is going to have to be rebuilt. And so they're looking for a temporary tower space, and they've approached us about leasing space on the McCool Tower. And I've shared that with Josh, and we worked through, I've showed the lease agreement to the county attorney, and he's approved it. And so what we're trying to do is get all these pieces in place so that Verizon can go on the McCool Tower.
okay.
They've done a tower, what I've required them to do is a tower. Anytime you attach to a tower, you have to be concerned about loading and all. They've done a tower analysis. The tower analysis shows that the tower is more than capable of withholding, and this is only, they're saying only a 6 or 7 month lease. I'm kind of wondering, they're gonna see that they're so happy with the additional coverage they get down there that it might be a permanent lease. And it is very financially viable. Verizon's got money running out of their pockets like nobody would believe. And so I would like, if this agreement with Waco is approved, I'd also like to have the board approve Verizon being on that tower. And I don't know whether you need something formally.
Probably need to see it, yeah.
So-
The agreement that the sublease would have, we would probably like to see. For sure get it to Gary first, Gary's
Okay.
office, and then roll in front of this board too.
Okay, all right, super. And so that'll probably be at the next meeting if
Okay.
we get this done today. So you get to see my smiling face again and again and again.
That's fine.
Are all of these leases gonna be filed with the register of deeds?
It should be,
They should be.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
would be
I would-
rapid.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay,
would,
So we've got to, I would bring the lease. So Waco Rural Fire District would sign the lease, and then that would be filed. We'd
I-
have to make sure there's a filed official copy with,
Register of deeds, yeah. We need the original,
Okay.
and then there's little, like a 3-inch margin at the top.
Top, yeah.
Needs to be notarized, like your lease that looked really well.
okay,
So if you could follow that.
okay. So we'll have to share that with Verizon, so they understand.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
If there's any questions, just
I've got lots.
get a hold of the clerk's office about that,
I
but they
understand
should know.
communications, all this,
Okay.
this stuff.
Any other questions? So at this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the lease agreement with a Waco Rural Fire District.
So move.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Brooks.
Yes.
Aaron.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
And Paul.
Yes. Thanks, Bill.
Thanks.
You bet. We're getting there, right?
Yeah, but
Okay, next up is discuss an act on changing phone and internet providers. You flying solo on this?
Flying solo. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah, unfortunately, none of the others were able to attend today. We did discuss this last meeting, and the agreements were sent out. We did change, I think the ones that we have in front of us currently, we changed the contact names. So Marty was working on that. I don't know if he's got them to us, but that's the only thing that changed. We did send it up to the county attorney's office. They gave their blessing on the Allo, the Unite, and the I can't remember the name of the phone system. Let's see here. It's MSA on there. The NEC Unverge Blue Master Service Agreement. So I don't know, just real quick, the Unite for both the fiber voice and the internet is a 36-month agreement. The hosted phone system is also a 36-month agreement, and Allo does not do terms with their agreements. I did reach out to the tech team. They're on board with it. I talked to Don, and he is on board with servicing the offices that he services, changing these providers. The hosted phone system, the roads department is very ready to get updated. Their phone system is pre-system that we have at the courthouse, and they never did get updated out there or at aging. So that will give them some new capabilities. So they're very much on board with going with the hosted phone system. I know Marty walked around, talked to some of the different offices. As far as the feedback that was shared then to me was that, it was a fairly positive response from the different offices. Got anything to add to that, Kurt?
no.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like, if I remember right, that we would be on one system now.
Yes.
So we would be able to contact, rather than calling.
Yep.
It would be on one phone system,
Right.
aging services.
Yep.
And roads department.
Yep.
And stuff like that.
And probably extension.
It was extension, that's the next thing I was gonna ask, because there was some question whether they could jump on.
Yep.
And they will be
It
able
looks
to.
like they should be able to. They're looking to switch their internet up there away from the state service and going with Allo, which the main roadblock there was that the state didn't allow hosted phone system to operate on their network. So if they're away from that and have their own internet service, then that wouldn't be a roadblock anymore, and so then that could all flow in.
Okay. So that's good.
Mhm.
And then with that, the alert system would all be taken care of
Right.
and all be working like we've been wanting it or thought it was working for a while. And then there was, the other comment I believe Marty made that day was the phones were essentially, if we went this route, they were giving us phones,
Correct.
I believe, and
Yep.
that was a pretty sizable amount of money
Yep.
that he was talking.
Yep.
20 grand.
I believe
maybe?
that was the number that was thrown out there.
So that sounded like somewhat enticing. And this would not be rolling till a little
Yeah,
while.
right. I would say, I would say probably March timeframe, a couple months, 3 months to get it all up and
Okay.
running.
Because we didn't budget for the extra expense that this will be, but then it will
Correct.
only be for 3 months. Then at
Yep.
that route, so it
Yep.
should be able to be budget-wise.
Yep. There will be a month or so in there where we do have some overlap before the old systems are terminated.
Okay.
So there will be some added expense there. I believe that there's some relief on the Allo side that they will kick back to help out with that.
Buying a contract out or
Right.
whatever.
Yep.
Okay.
But there will be some added expense there, but I don't think it will bust our budget.
Okay.
I have a question. With Allo, on the contract, we have any kind of guarantee that they're not gonna raise their rates?
Well, that's the problem with when you don't have a term. In that, a month in, they could say, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna go up."
They've already done that to me, and I've only
Okay.
been with them 6 months.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that is a consideration to make for
Well,
sure.
with a private individual, it doesn't amount to a lot.
Right.
But when talking about the county, it's
Mhm.
gonna be a lot more than that. I
Sure.
guarantee it.
Yep.
So, have you had the opportunity to look at the contract, Gary,
The one with the agreement.
with the Allo?
Personally, I have not.
Chris did review them.
Chris did?
Yep, and he was fine. And that's the thing with Allo. Basically all you're doing is agreeing to the rate at that current time.
Rate and speed.
Right.
We're getting this speed
Correct.
for this much money.
Correct.
Because there is no contract with Allen.
Right. And he was fine with the way that it was worded, but
So it's a 30-day contract?
Basically.
30-day contract?
Yep. I don't know. I know that the city has rolled on to them. I don't know that how long they've been on them, but I don't know that they've experienced a jump yet.
Well, I have.
Well, I guess we'll just have to deal with that as it shows up. The wires that are coming into this building were put in during construction, and it's not like they're leaving. So I would think we would still have access to the other
Right.
companies that are out there.
Right.
So, but at this present time, it looks like for the speed and everything, this is the right way to go.
For the internet speed.
And the reliability.
I'll question that too.
Yeah, there's no doubt that they through construction, I think they've had some issues, but I don't know that I've heard many other that have had any issues with them.
Well, if a lot of people are like me, they're just tired of complaining about it and not getting any response.
And I could-
So they quit complaining about it. Now, I know we're not gonna take their TV program.
Right.
Yep.
We're just gonna go internet and phone system. So, but when you're watching a TV program and it comes black up there and it says you temporarily lost this station, and that happens over and over and over, and I guarantee you, if you call them, they're going to be there in 5 minutes,
Hmm.
as their advertiser says.
Well, the only thing that we're buying from them is the internet.
Right.
The
And
phone system is a separate.
The phone
it's just
system-
hosted through the internet type system.
correct. Other than the we are getting some voice lines through Allo. So the phone system itself, but the lines that the voice will go out on will be
On the Allen
on
side.
the Allo side. Correct.
Okay.
So the lines that connect to the outside world, or however you want to say that,
Right.
currently those lines are serviced with Spectrum, and now we will be switching that to Allo.
Okay. Any other questions?
The hosted phone offer for the free or the waiving of the hardware cost, however you want to look at it, does expire at the end of this month. So that's why we had that on here. I think everybody's from the tech side is ready to make the switch on all of it. If we want to talk more about Allo and terms, we probably can do that. The phone system, if we want to take advantage of the offer of the free phones, would probably need to be acted on today.
Okay. And the tech committee is in full agreement that this is the right way to go.
Yes.
Well, I had a great deal of respect for Woody's expertise in the IT field, and if he was for it, I guess I won't be against it. But I just cross my fingers that you'll be happy with that service,
Sure.
because I'm not.
Yep.
Any other comments?
I guess the only thing that I'll add to that is that I'll be making a motion, and in that I'm going to include that we utilize Marty for project management services on this. He did give us a quote. I don't have that in front of us. It was not, in my opinion, it was very reasonable for those services. So I will be including that in my motion. Is there any comments on that?
That's probably in the last meeting.
Right. Yep.
Is where it's probably at. If you wanted to find that number, I'm guessing that's where he would have saved that. Because that's not in any of these here. that we
Right.
have.
It is not that I saw. Let's see.
Any other comments then before?
The internet and phone tab on here, that's what we had in there from last.
Oh, okay.
That's the information I gave last.
Yep.
I don't think that shows his though.
Marty was unable to be here, but he said he'd be available by phone. I just sent him a text to see if he could respond to that.
Yeah, you must have passed that out separate. So I don't see it there, Daniel.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh, come on. So he's quoting roughly around $2,500. He's estimating it be a 20-hour project, and his rate is $125.
Okay.
So I would make a motion that we approve signatures on the internet providers and hosted phone solution agreements, and employ Marty Walters project management services for that project.
I'll second it. Any other discussion? I would say that the fee base for Marty, we could use out of one of the other funds as to not take it out of data. Since
Correct.
that was probably a data process, we're
Right.
gonna get it. And I would guess the LATCF fund would probably be as good a spot,
Sure.
because we are kind of commingling data with that anyway,
Yep.
by buying the computers and hardware and
Yep.
stuff like that. So. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Brooks,
Yes.
Overmer,
Yes.
Sykes,
Yes.
Beck.
Yes.
Okay. That brings us almost to the end of the commissioner meeting, other than committee reports, and we've got 15 minutes before the equalization, so. Anybody? Nothing to report? Stan?
I met with Harvey after Daniel already left. I was a little bit late. And the only big thing is he's going to run a maintainer or something today because people are sick and somebody quit.
There is some bugs going around, I've been told.
And somebody didn't get back from Christmas. So he's out there doing something. So that's why he's not here.
You guys, did you both volunteer?
There you go.
To help him or to be for his sake of
Well,
place.
just a, grab a maintainer, looks fine.
Jump in. Yeah, there you go. Let's go. Throw some snow.
I'm guessing we got a spare one around somewhere.
Yep.
What happened to
Couple.
was it Road K where they had a beginning maintainer man that really messed it up
Right. Yeah, I
a
think it
couple
was
months
Kay.
ago? I don't think I'll volunteer.
It helps when it's froze underneath. which
Yeah,
I don't
right.
think it is yet.
No.
It
Yeah,
helps when it's
right.
froze underneath.
Because those people were pretty upset.
Yeah,
Got a few phone calls on that one.
yeah, they did
And
this
and we
last week.
apologized. So I mean Harvey explained what happened and I passed the word on. So haven't heard anything since. So
Daniel?
So not a whole lot to report, but did attend the NACO conference in Kearney. Some good conversations out there, and hopefully we can take some of it and put it to use.
I
That's all
agree.
I got to share.
Whether you spend half a day or a day, or this year it was 3, for me, you get out of it what you put into it, and they supply you with the information. And there was some good information. I know we had a large contingency. I've seen you briefly one time out there, but our zoning, Hines, I don't know why, Nate. I've seen him out there. He was partaking in that, and Mitch and Harvey, and so I hope that we come away with some knowledge of different things. I know I did. So that worked out pretty well. Just since 3 days is a long time out there too. Nice city. They take care of you well. But the information's there. Then I had an opportunity to talk to John Cannon the week after, and they're just in just relaxed mode after that, after hosting that for that many days. Above and beyond that, I did not have much else either, other than a few phone calls. Visited with Daniel just a little bit after the last meeting. There was a complaint about the White Rock, and then I had somebody come in my shop complaining about that. And we talk about the positives and negatives. Well, the positive is it builds a nice road. The negative is it's kind of dusty. And maybe it's something we need to look in, because I would see we're going to continue to use this product because it does do a good job, but maybe we look into some dust suppression, which has been very well used throughout not only our state, but other states around us. And I know there's been people on us about that too, and we've been hesitant to do it, but maybe we do that, at least with our white rock, to see if that won't alleviate some issues, especially with the year we had, as dry as it was. Yeah, it gets dusty, unfortunately. It gets dustier. So, and then I think the next amount of phone calls, and I'll let Kelly explain this, has been, what are you guys gonna do now? You know, and unfortunately, we just did it a year ago, and people tend to forget that you guys don't do anything about it. There's a select group that gets to take care of the need that we have now, and Kelly, I'll let you explain what's gonna happen and the timeframes, if you would, please.
Well, the committee is Gary, county attorney, county treasurer, and county clerk. And we have 45 days to appoint a new commissioner. So we have met, and we'll put this ad in the paper this week. And I think they have to get the resumes to us by January 12th, and we're hoping to do the interview process January 16th. And then hopefully, if we pick someone at that time, then we'd be here at the first board meeting January 23rd. That's the process.
And so I did reach out to John Cannon last week, because I could not remember if we had to do anything formally, and we do not. The seat is vacated, and there's nobody to be in the seat. So we didn't have to do anything formally, other than recognize him and thank him. And so that started, the clock started ticking, unfortunately, when Woody quit ticking. And so we have till the end of January, unless we can show due cause that we can. So, I mean, they give you just a little variety in there. But last year, if you remember, there was 5. Woody was one of 5. So I would assume that something like that will happen again, usually. But the twist with this one is that position is up for election also. So as they're filling out the resume, and as they get appointed at the end of January, they will be an incumbent at that time, and they will have to file for election by February 15th. So there we go. So they got a couple things to think about,
Right.
which I would hope that anybody that would put in for it would be in for more than just a few months, hopefully. So it's a little bit different twist. And filing day starts January 5th. Anything else? Hooray! What, that meeting, I would assume that the interview meeting, if you want to call it that will be like an evening,
Yes,
like
it's
at
at
5 or 5:30,
Yes,
5
it
o'clock.
has to be after 5 or 5 o'clock.
5:01, one of those deals, like we made the postcard bill,
Yeah.
6:01,
6:01.
had to be after 6. Okay,
And it's open to the public.
What was the time, Kelly? 5:30, you said?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
It's gonna be, I'll put it all in the newspaper. It is open to the public, so they'll have to interview in front of the public.
yes,
Mhm.
you are, when you 3 meet as a board, you are a board.
We are open meeting.
Yep. You have the right to go into executive session, though, I believe, if you so choose. Don't you?
That is an excellent question.
Mhm.
I would think if you had to adhere to the open meetings laws, you could, if you chose, but I would think you'd have an opportunity to do that, but you may check with Candace or John or Beth or somebody to make sure before that day.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else before we close out the Board of Commissioner meeting and take a short recess? It's been an interesting year.
Mhm.
Look forward to another one next year. Right, Jack?
Oh, yeah.
It's all right. All right, we're adjourned. And we will start up at 9:30. It looks like we've got a busy Board of Equalization. Nothing too major.